No. Thank you. One second. Hello. Let's see. Let's go for a better angle. Oh, it's too much. Okay. So, hello, and let's. I'm going to do a quick review of the form so far, and then I'll continue. Let's see if it's a better angle. There you go. So, once again, let's do a little review of what we've done so far in the form. I'll do it at a couple angles. Oh, here we go. Somebody come in, present. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
All right. How's it going? So I was just gonna do a. Oh, hold on. Somebody else coming in. 1 second. Oh, Scout.
Not working.
I think.
Let's see, it's weird.
How do I put her in? Put in waiting room, make host, rename, remove, chat. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Damn. Oh, there we go. Admit. So I got stuck on some window where it wouldn't let me admit her. But she should be here in a second.
Sorry, something's wrong with my sound. Okay, there we go.
If you're intrigued by movie making as a
Hey.
All right, let's see.
Professor Stethoscope, Malcolm Jenkins.
How's it going? The sound working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Saw you at the protest. That was pretty cool. Cool. Everything good?
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool. So finally teaching my Tai Chi class. Cool. So let's start from the beginning. We'll go from the beginning and do a little review. Oh, I think so. All right. I think Karen got out of the thing because the audio wasn't working. She's probably coming back in a second. So, first move. You done Tai Chi before, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Cool. 1 second. Waiting room. Admit. Wow, this is gonna be my biggest class so far. Cool. Let's see. I think it's ready. Yeah. Let's see. How do I do this?
What are you trying to do?
Oh, there we go. Oh, just see everybody. There we go. How's it going?
Good. How are you? I'll be hopping off at 5:30 since this time
Okay.
works for me, but
Cool, cool.
I won't say anything. I'll just go. So in case people see me go, that's why.
All right, cool. Sounds good. So how's everybody doing? Cool. So we're gonna start from the beginning, and yeah, I'll just go ahead and get into it. I'll do a little more explaining and theory and all that stuff later. For now, we'll just get right into the form for now. All right, and feel free to cut me off after a move or two if you need me to repeat it or do it another angle or something like that, or something doesn't make sense. It's a little hard to learn this way anyway, but so yeah, feel free to ask any kind of questions. Cut me off, it's fine. So, first move, heaven and earth palm. Well, actually, in this one, it's a little different, but let's call it commencement of the form. It's like introduction. So your feet are almost, well, they're about a little wider than shoulder length, not much. Not quite straightforward, but just a little bit out, right? Just a hair out. And standing straight. You want to feel like you're hanging from like if you're a puppet, hanging from a string from the ceiling, or from way up high. You want to feel like you're a puppet and your spine just hangs there. The chin is slightly tucked. Not like this, but just very slightly tucked so it's not floating, but just like say there's a ball right here. It's about like right there. See, so not real tucked, but just like that. The tailbone is tucked, but just a little tiny bit slightly in. Just slightly in. So it's almost like there's a weight hanging from the tailbone and you're hanging from a string, right? So it kind of elongates the spine and it allows all the energy to drop. So all the energy kind of drops to the legs. So you kind of, even though you're here and you feel like you're hanging from a string, all the weight and everything should just sink into the legs. So you end up your legs end up getting a workout just standing that way, you know? Anyways, we'll go back into that later, especially when we're back in class and doing like all the contact stuff and everything. Then all that stuff comes into play. For now, we're just learning the basic, the big form, the frame of the form, which is kind of hard to learn with Chin style. So, anyways, we'll get started with that. For that. So, here you're gonna inhale, and you're gonna rise up to just from the wrist, right to about the level of the shoulders. It goes out. And as it goes out, the arms are already pulled back like this. And then push down with the palms. Right? And that looks like this from the side. So even though they call it like 4 different moves, Pong, G, Lu, and On, it's almost more like do it more like almost 2 moves, just like almost like you're getting rolling out a rug or something, and you go shoo, and pull it back. So you don't actually go boom like that. You go here, and when it's on the way back, this kind of goes almost like a whip. Pow, it's on its way back already. But of course, you go slow. Those fingers are going out, palms are already on the way back. They come back here, but now you're already starting to push down, push down, push down. Push down at the heel this way, not straight this way. So. All right, next move. Next move is you go here. As they're coming down here, you're gonna do like a figure 8 here. And then you can do this part, but never mind that for a second. For now, let's just do the figure 8, and we can kind of do that as a repeating move just to learn it. And what I mean by figure 8 is this. They also call this 2 fish. So actually, I'll just explain that later. Let's do this. Now, what's doing this is not necessarily my arms, but I'm using my body, right? So you go down here, you twist. Here. This way. The side looks like this. sides. Here. So it's like you're catching punches. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Good, good, good. You can like if someone's punching at you, right? It's like you're intercepting their wrist, and this punch comes. This part gets their elbow, right? So you intercept their wrist. Second hand's behind the elbow. And if they punch with the other hand, you intercept the wrist. This goes to the elbow. All right. Now the footwork on the next part's going to be a little different. So the footwork's, of course, here it's just in one place, right? And here you turn. Now on this part, once you get to about here, the feet are going to do this, and you finish the move like this. So it goes figure eight, boom. So the feet go like this one goes about 45, and this one goes about 90. So they switch. So once again, that's that move you're going here, about to here, and then you move your feet. It's just like it's against a wall or something like that. That makes sense? So here.
Sorry, just a quick question. When you do the pivot, do your feet move at all? Do you pivot in place, or does one foot move out a little bit? So like I guess.
Oh, in place.
Oh,
Yeah, in place. There's a couple ways to do it, but the simplest way I would say would be to pivot off this point. You know
the ball.
This point, right back to the ball of the foot.
Oh, okay.
And just right this. So this one's gonna go about 90, and this one will go about 45. So you just go.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
They actually say another way to do it is they pivot off this heel and this one from the ball of the foot, but it just gets too confusing. Just do them both from the middle. It's much simpler. Right? So you can this move. Oh, sorry, I'll go slower. Sorry. Before it gets to the bottom, you start turning your body. Catch a punch this way. Now punch coming from the other direction, so you turn your body out the way. From here, turn your feet, and your hands will catch up. Now from here, you're going to do this thing. Like your hands are against the wall. They go this way. They go this way. Pull yourself along the wall like this. And you go. Here. Let me show that from the side because that part's probably it's a little confusing on video trying to learn that part. So then this on this side, turn my feet, hands catch up. Now I'm going to do this. As I do that, I bring my foot forward. It's far enough. So like I bring it to the ball, the foot goes to the instep here. Right? So my foot is here, it goes, my foot is here, it goes to here on the ball of the foot. And then it's gonna go out on the heel in that direction. So anyway, so you're going here, here, all right? Now, go here. And as you do this, you're stepping out with the foot. And you feel like there's a wall there supporting you, right? You can use that as leverage. You got a visible wall. You can also practice that against the wall as well. I think you guys can see. Yeah. So I am here, I go boom, boom, right, against the wall. My hands turn, right, I'm going this way. That's when the foot comes up. Now I just pull myself along the wall. The hands don't really move on the wall much. It's more just using that as leverage to step, and you're stepping this way. The foot comes up on the heel. I'm sorry, up on the ball, out on the heel. So you're going once again, you're going here. The hands go this way and pull. This way. Sorry, this way, that's when the foot comes up. And pull. Okay. That makes sense? That makes sense with the wall and stuff, that idea? So when you that's the idea. But when you're here, when the foot comes up, the hands do this.
Right.
So you're on the wall. So like a mime or something, right? An invisible wall there. You can also practice against a wall. And you here. And the reason being is see now you're gonna pull yourself. You use the wall as leverage to step out. Stay back on this leg. Stay on this leg, and this foot steps out this way. So this it's toe up. Like this. And then don't worry about too much about the details. If you have to, as long as you get the big picture, it's fine. And we'll worry about the details later. You know, there's a lot of little details in it. But yeah, feel free to stop me if something doesn't make sense. But I'm going to go through, and then we'll come back and go through the details a little more. Okay. So let's start at the beginning and just follow along. Turn your body slightly. Turn it the other way. Shift your feet. The hands will catch up on the wall. Pull yourself forward. Now from here, you're going to go like this. You're going to push back like there's a wall pushing back this way. Push back. The front foot's going to come down, of course, right? Because you were here, the front foot's on the tail. It's going to come down. So you go push here. So let me show you what it looks like from the side. So I was, shit, where was I? Here. So, here. Push backwards. Now, push and keep this in mind, this part. Using the back leg and the arm, you're pushing here. Anyways, I'm just emphasizing that. So, you're here. Push forward onto the front leg. Now, this hand is going to do this, like in the beginning of the form. So, see that? It goes a little more detail on that one. So, if I'm push forward. When this gets to my center, right here, when it gets to my center, it pops up like that. This hand is still pushing back. Right? Here, this pops up here. Now, you go forward. So it looks like that. Boom. So we'll do that move a few times before we go on. So let's go from here. Oh, would it be easier if I face this way to follow along? So we're doing it on the same side?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Inhale, exhale. And turn the other way. Shift the feet. Hands catch up. Against the wall. Pull yourself up. Push backwards. Push, 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 push. This hand's gonna pop up. And it's like you grab something. It goes here. I think we just grab something in the air. Like there's a pole out there or something. Invisible pole, and pull yourself up. So that looks from the, I'll do it from the side. Okay. And when you pull yourself up, it's this. Here. And my feet are the ball of this foot, and this foot's all the way down, this one's on the ball of the foot. It's a little confusing in the beginning, but pretty good, pretty good. Oh, I'll say that was pretty good, but you guys are doing it on the other side. So you want to go. No, that was right, Scott. But you want to go this way, like so. You go left, right, right. So you're going here, to the right. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Good. On that part, let me do a little more details on where the hands are and stuff. So, okay, you're here, here. This is pushing back, right? This is going to be like your center's at. It pops up. Now, later you don't do this, but for now, do this. It makes it way easier to learn the whole idea of how the move works. So you go here and grab. And then grab like a mime. There's a pole. You got to imagine like you're in a bar or something. And you're in a fight and you got a pole there and you can pull it and hit somebody, use it as a point of leverage, right? So you go here, grab, pull yourself forward, and then the hand's pretty good when you guys are doing it, but it's like this. Later it's going to be like this, like auxiliary hand, like in boxing, But for now, you do this. And it's like you're checking your pulse. So the same move, but it's here at first. So it's there. So from the center, but this way, downwards. Later you have it here, or you have it here. But right now it's, in this move it's here. That's all it is. So let's go through kind of the big picture. I'll do it from the side, but that might make it a little bit easier as far as the right left part. So now, pretty good. Now from here, Let me see. Well, I'll show the move and then I'll break it up. So there's first you do the upper. Well, I'll show for the whole thing. All right. On that, you're not necessarily stomping. It's more like let everything drop. So first, the upper half of the body is you're just doing this. You're here. You drop the bucket into the well. All right, so it's this way. Drop the bucket into the well. You push down to lift the bucket out. Now, from here, the image is this. It's like a peanut, a brick covered with mortar or with peanut butter. You throw it against the wall, right? It goes, right? It sticks. So that's the idea there. So you're gonna go scoop, lift the bucket out of the well, stick, 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 drops. All right, so let's go. Just the upper body. Scoop, pull it out, stick, stick, stick. And at the last minute, this hand turns over, and it's like a catcher's mitt. The ball lands right in the middle. Scoop. And you let your body go. Scoop. Scoop. Do it again. Scoop. So in the lower body, you're gonna do this. It's kind of funny, but the image is this. It's not exactly like this, but this is the image. So you put your hands on your knees, and you're doing the feet slightly out, and you're doing the sumo wrestler. So you're going here, here, here. You just do one side, but since we're doing this, might as well do both sides. Here, here. And it looks funny, but those are actually moves for like blocking kicks, right? Trying to kick them like here. Anyway, so you're going here, here, here. All right, so now the foot is like this, right? Or you can just see it from the side. The foot is here. It's not all the way down, it's on the ball of the foot. Now you scoop. Both sides come up at once. And the side looks like this. Scoop. You land here, not here, but like here. So if your dan's about here, you're doing a little higher. Between the dan and the solar plexus somewhere. Oh, that's here. All right, let's do this. Okay, now, next move, we'll go to the next move real quick, is you rock this way, which is about to your right, Up to your right, and then to your left. Oh, by the way, it's your knuckle, and you're doing it right here in this. Like you're crushing something, right? Twist, twist. Right, left, circle back up, out. Right, left, up and over, out. Right, left, over, out. Now you're gonna do the same thing with a big circle. You're gonna go left hand out, left hand pushes to your right, right foot goes out, Hands out here. Now they're going to continue a circle. And now instead of doing it this way, it's this way. Yeah, same thing. Later it'll be here, it doesn't matter. This is fine for now. So you might notice if you see what symbol you see. If you see a symbol here, look, if I was tracing my hands, see how it makes a yin yang symbol? Right? What goes out here. And by the way, this foot is still pointing with the toe up. All right, you don't set it down until later. It's toe up. So it's we'll do it from this side. Here we go. Right, left, middle, left hand out to the right, right hand out, and right foot. And then go to the corner. Oh yeah, they call that 3 points in one direction. Here's what I'm talking about. So if I'm pointed this way, right? Boom, boom. I go here, but this points to the corner, right? Instead of here to the sides, 45. So 3 points. 3 points are my nose, my center, right? My nose, my center, and my hand. So it's all this way. So if I was doing this with a corner this way, boom, it would be here or here, right? If I was going to the corner, it would be this way. 3 points. But actually, no, it's your foot, your center, and your hand. So, anyways, that's this part's a little confusing, I know, but once you get through the first part of the set, and this is a lot in one day, we're gonna go back over it. But once you get past the first part of the set, the rest of it's a lot easier. A lot easier. It's just in the beginning, it can be kind of funny. You know, it seemed funny. The new, different way of moving, you know. So from here, do that again. Now you drop, set the foot down. And that's called lazily touch the rope. The figure 8. Sorry, it's a kind of a continuation of the other move. And that's actually way more in the form that I was going to cover. So we'll actually go back to the beginning and go over it again. Just so it makes sense, because if you learn too much, it's too hard to try to practice it again. We can't connect the pieces, so it's better just to get the first couple moves really good, you know, and then just go as far as you can remember. So let's see. Oh, you guys want to try it from the beginning, and I'll just watch and see where you're all at. Or here, you follow me a couple times first. You follow me a couple times. So we'll go from this way. So I'll try and I'll go ahead and do it facing you guys. I'll do a couple different angles, and then I'll watch you guys do it. So then, let me see y'all go from the beginning. Oh, right hand. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's not bad. So what we're gonna do now is go kind of back to the beginning. You guys have the framework pretty good, so let's go to the beginning, and we'll go over a few moves. You learn the form because like it's a whole vocabulary. There's a whole bunch of moves in there, a whole bunch of like things that are cool to remember that for martial arts or for just different things. But to really like get better at it, you do this thing called, they call it Chung. It's like I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's like silk, means like silk reeling. So it's like you're doing a move over and over, like say a certain circle of a move, and it's just going to go over and over and over. You have a lot of those in this form, but for now, I want to just go back from the beginning of the form and just stop at certain places where you can repeat and show you those, because really that's what's going to get you better, especially now in the beginning. It's kind of hard to remember the moves, especially, sometimes. So especially in the beginning. So what you want to do is have a few different movements that you can do. You just do them over and over and over. And there's a lot of stuff to learn from them. But anyway, so start from the beginning. I'll show you. So I'll give you some examples. It's usually just like a circle or a figure eight. One hand or two hands, right? Or circle, one hand, two hands. Right. But so from the beginning, this here, You can practice those over and over. Like that's one move you can do over just the beginning. It's like you know what? I'm gonna go over that one later because it looks simple, but it's actually kind of involved. We'll go over that one later. But yeah, so here. Now here. Next one is gonna be this. Figure eight. Figure eight. Instead of turning, you just keep doing this. Now what's turning is I'm not doing this with my hands. I'm turning my body. Turning my body here. So I'm trying here. My legs are kind of pushing and pulling. So there's a lot going on. All the work is going on here. You notice my hands are, there's just, the relationship with the body and the hand is not changing much. It's just the body doing the move. So what it does is Tai Chi really drops your center of gravity. So like, for instance, there's a million miles, there's a whole big thing, a big difference between like say this and this and this. So each one I'm dropping my center of gravity. Most people have their center of gravity here, or a lot of people do, in their shoulders, but you want to learn how to drop it below here. Center of gravity in the waist, and then drop, 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 drop. Get the center of gravity down low, ground you. But anyways, that's one of the things we're trying to do as we do this. So, anyways, just here, here. You can do it with one hand too. Here. Notice I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Same thing with the other hand is doing the same thing. It's going. So that makes a figure eight. Later it's going to be smaller, you don't really see it. But for now, in the beginning, you want to make everything big as much as possible. Not that I'm using my arm, but just use it like big. Like a flip. Someone's punching at you, and you go here, and you flip them, right? If he has the footwork, you do a big circle. All right, you take them over this way, and when they're leaning, you come back around this way. So it's like you're going. All right. So does that make sense? Also, you do one hand and the other, and then you do both hands. And the work is all in the legs. Turning. It's like you have a ball here, right? A ball here that's hanging from a string, but the legs are doing the work. The legs are pushing and pulling and moving the ball. See, so I'm going here, but then it turns, 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 turns. Right, so this is actually doing the movement. But the way it works in the beginning is where you got all these big circles and stuff. So those, you learn where all the big circles are, like right here, you know, circles, and see, that teaches you where the circles teach you how to move the body. So, but actually, that's a lot for now. Don't worry about that. Just going through the form. But yeah, just try to get real comfortable with it. You really want to just go here, just get real comfortable. It's like you're moving underwater, right? Yeah. That's it. So do what you're doing, and imagine this. Look, so someone has a spear, and they jab you with a spear, right? So you do this move, and you see it coming. You see it coming, and then the last minute, you go, right in back of the. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Sorry, the sticks are on the back room, and I don't want to put sandals on and do all that stuff. So they have a spear, right? They jab at you. And so as it's getting stabbed at me, right behind where the tip of the spear is, right here, you go here, right? So right when it's about to stab you, move off to the side this way. They pull it back and stab again, and you go this way. That makes sense? That's it. So that's it. But check it out. That's it. But watch. This hand, right below the elbow. No, do what you're doing here. That's fine. But this hand, this is on the wrist. This hand's on the elbow. Yeah. That's it. But you don't have to push it. Just touch. Just touch. So on that one, that's the idea. But just do this. Look, you go here, touch, here, touch. Don't push it out. You can. That's just a different move. That's just. I mean, I'm saying it's not wrong. It's just a different move. Yeah. There you go. That's it. So that's a case where, right, with that one, yeah, that's what we would have done if we were in class where we were hitting each other and stuff. Is you do this, and then you do what you guys were just doing: punch, and then the other person punch. Right? So y'all have that pretty good. So I'll go to the next one. You can also keep in mind you can do it different ways. Like you can do these, do one hand. You can do it in a big stance. Same thing. They would just look more of a. There'd be a little bit more of a just bigger, right? See, if it was a staff, that's where you do this type of thing. With the staff, you try to grab it out their hand. But anyways, so next move. So you go here. Here. Now this. The move, I might mess you up a little bit because this, I'll explain why later. So the move is actually this, right? You go here. I'm sorry, you go here. All right. Later in the form, the next time you do it, which is not too far later, you're going to do this overlap, which is an extra circle. We're going to practice that circle now. So it's not actually in the part of the form here, but don't worry about it. It won't mess you up. It is. You will do the exact same thing, just a few moves later. So, anyways, let's practice that circle. So, you're gonna go here. All this is the same, but now instead of doing all of this stuff, you're just gonna go push, push, push. So it's almost like you can pull a rope to, like, you're under a real thick liquid, super thick liquid, right? And it's hard to move around, right? You have to move around. So you're using all this. You know how, like, if you're underwater, you can go like this, and it'll help you do this, right? If you're underwater, you can go, you know what I'm saying? There's all that, like, so I used to like the shadow box underwater and stuff. But anyways, so that's the idea. It's kind of like that. Like, if you're underwater, you can use all this to push you forward. Now you can use this same way to push you back. And there's kind of a delay in it, right? You push. That makes you go this way. Now you're pushing, even though you're doing this, you're already pushing that way with your leg. So the lower half is a little bit ahead of the upper body, right? So the lower body's pushing, now the upper body goes. Lower body's pushing this way, then the upper body goes. Anyways, yeah, so it's like this. It looks like this from the side. All right, that's from the back, I guess. All right, where I went here. Use your arms to push. In the beginning, you really want to think of using your arms to push, like if you're on a wall here. Right, well, not exactly like this, because you don't practice in a square. It's more circular. But in the beginning, it's like you, where am I at? Here, like if I'm pushing a wall that way, right? So you're pushing that way. Later, of course, you're really going to be using your legs more. But the way our brains work, it's funny. If you work something with your hands, your brain will get it. Like push off a wall, your brain will get it a lot better with your hand. Push off a wall, push off a wall. Then you get the idea. Now you're going to just use your leg to do the same thing. Really works for some reason, but anyways. Here. Once again, it's like a ball. Y'all feel it in the leg more?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because you want to, as you're doing it, you want to gradually drop your center of gravity just little by little. Just relax. So in the beginning, the arms and everything are doing this. Later, it's just really just the legs doing everything. Your arms just kind of along for the ride. All right. So let's go. So if I'm doing the form. Right, so you have a move there, you can break up and stop and break that move up, or continue. And here, we're not going to do the circle, we're just going to do part of it. Break into here, grab, pull yourself forward, drop the right side, dip, pull the water up from the well, drop. Right side, left side. So it's here. Yeah, that's here. So, we have this. That's pretty good as far as the form. That's pretty good if you can just remember up to here. If you remember this part, that's fine too. but don't worry about it. Just try to really try to remember. Well, of course, you guys all have this. Y'all have this. You all got this pretty good. And you can either go extra circle if you want there. It's fine. But otherwise, it's here, drop, here. Right. And then this part is if you don't remember that part, don't worry about it. It's kind of hard to learn that much in one sitting. The thing is remember the figure eights, and it can be broken up 1 hand, 2 hands, right? The circles. And when you do the circles, do it on both sides. Once again, this can be someone punches, but they punch up here, right? They're kind of high, or punch over the top or something like that. This can be this one. The punch comes over, the wrist, the elbow, then go over, you come back over, to flip, right? That's one thing. There's a bunch of things you can use it for. There's not that, but it can also just be this. You attack with the elbow, then you check the elbow, bam, then you come through here, and that's what this is. Here you're just going here. Kind of the same idea. There's just a little different version of it, like when you do that. But it's here. Also practice the other side. Whenever you do those moves, because the form's not ambidextrous, so when you learn the moves and you do them separately over and over, that's where you even out the right and left. So always do at least as many on the left side, the opposite side, or whatever we're doing in the form. That's the right idea, Scout, with the timing. The timing's really good. Now you just want to do a bigger circle. But the timing's good because you have that, right? You're not doing, it's not this, right? It's that same timing. There's that flowing thing, like you're under liquid. But now, just bigger.